Welcome back to Marathon Squadron. I'm Admin 1 of ViniFX. We are, I believe, on the penultimate level. I think it's level 18. Oops. Okay, yeah. So this is Market Garden. At the very beginning of it, it's a vacuum level too. So we'll see what comes of that. Oh hey, there's a slight ledge there. No immediate enemies on the map. Oh. Okay. Here comes some more possibly. Not yet, but I want to find oxygen charger soon. In fact, I'm going to pause this to be cheap. Southerners District 2, Foundation Level District 2 is uninhabitable. Request full district evacuation. Planet gas level 45% mixture. Repair printing. Okay, that's, no. I was going to say that was short anyway. Either that you caught the IFC security by surprise, or you have tremendous luck. There's supposed to be a clause before that. Anyway, I'm guessing you've noticed the lack of natural oxygen in this portion of the facility. You can thank your own ranger team for smashing the air vents. It was a tad chaotic in the north face of the structure during the assault, and we accidentally collapsed a couple air shafts. I can't exactly send down reinforcements right now. The teleportation signal is weak from all the concrete in this place. What I can do is reroute you down a few floors to a terminal union that our teleport mechanisms can utilize to carry a heavier signal. To make this work, you need to find air shafts on this floor, and access service terminals inside them so I can triangulate within the facility. Once you have achieved that, locate the nearest terminal to the air shaft so I can direct you further. Okay. You find oxygen really fast. None of those doors work yet. Okay. We need oxygen. Shit. Can't survive at this rate. Well, I now know better what to do. But it doesn't really help. I don't know where to go. Here we go. You get a better, oh, that's right, it won't work in vacuum. Let's fuck with the guy. I'm already over halfway through my oxygen tank. Level took a skyrocket all of a sudden very quickly. have a better idea of how to speedrun this area too, at least. Got stuck on the outcrop there. Oops, notice there were two shield charges there. See how this works against those mechs things. Okay, save point at least. Okay, now we're definitely in a good spot level. Okay, I'll mentally note this on the map. Oh, here comes some more. It's a pretty comical barrage of enemies there. Okay, try to look for any other motion on the map. Yep, here comes some more. Still got a decent amount of ammunition for this thing. May not even have to switch to the other auto rifle. These weapons are cool, but they don't generally have as distinctive of a niche as the original Marathon weapons. Okay, so it's down here next. Coming my way yet. Okay, looks like that's all for this room. You'd think there'd be some more ambushes. This is like a ripe spot for ambushes. But I would still detect him on the radar, or the overhead map anyway. Might end up having to retreat back to that oxygen recharging station pretty soon. Okay, but there's another in that corner. Okay, switch is taken care of. Now that I've reached this threshold, I'm definitely going to recharge and save now. Recharging the oxygen, that is. Before I go back to the bottom part of that map. And that's just in that section. There's still this general area. Die? No. I'm going to read that later. Definitely want to recharge my oxygen. This place seems eerily barren right now, especially now that all the action has died off. Oops, I went off the wrong way. Okay. Got 2 areas to go to next. One's technically closer to here, so I guess I'll go take it. Around the corner here. This unexplored long hallway. Oh, nothing to access, at least for now anyway. For all I know, a place at the bottom of the map is where I'll activate it. But who knows? There are a lot of doors in here that appear to be just for show. Recharge again, then go back down. Oh, first looked like a bowling pin. Sorry, just adjusting something on my phone real quick. Okay, one more bit. Okay. Will there be sentry enemies here? Well, they don't show up on the map. Okay, just there. Oh, this is great. I've got a signal from this terminal. Find one more and we're in business. So I'm assuming that means this one. Great, we've got everything we need. Find another nearby terminal for more instructions. Okay. So, where would the next terminal be? Maybe the one that I was about to read before I decided to go back for oxygen. It's number 1. Here, marked on the map. I have no what lies ahead of you, the typo, but assume the worst. You can definitely look forward to as reinforcements to aid you in your assault on this foundation, but I have no idea how much help that will be. Best of luck. See you on the other side. Probably depends largely on how many of those white mechanical enemies there are. Epilauge. Isn't that something that happens basically after the story is over? Rather than the end of the story itself? Well, no matter. I get to kill shit at any rate. I get this regular assault rifle back, so no more issues with oxygen. Well, so far having a real SEAL clubbing time. Something tells me I'll see plenty more of those white robotic enemies. Keep an eye out on them. Overhead map in the meantime. Oh, here comes some. This scenario arguably needs more monster impassable zones and the like to keep some enemies in ambush status. Because right now this kind of reminds me of some of the less well-planned rooms of Wolfenstein 3D, where it's like you fire into a room and they just kind of march straight to their doom, pick them off one by one as they enter the door. Alright, UESC terminal override. Apparently we've reached the bottom floor of the Foundation facility, approximately 2.5 miles below ground level. We're still not sure what this structure is for. but we are assuming it's involved in weapon development and planetary studies for the IFC. The Ranger team in the north portion of this building found a manufacturing line of those hybrid creatures with the high-powered flak cannons. They scanned and dug up documents in the factory line and found out that these monster things are derived from 4 biology and a combination of Hunter and IFC armor. The North attacking Ranger team also found factory lines mass-producing ammunition and small arms for the troops above. Since we are in a state of war, UESC has issued military commands to demolish the structure. The simplest way to do this, of course, is to detonate the foundation of the foundation, pun intended. I will try my best to send backup, but my signal is rapidly losing coherence. The bottom floor of the facility is a large ring with 4 pillars on the outside. Your mission is to place explosive charges in the 4 pillars to demolish the structure by removing its support beams. All of our explosive charges were locked down or destroyed when the Merrimack was destroyed, so you'll have to look around in the facility for a supply depot and take charges from them. When you're done, get the hell out so we can detonate the charges. Alright. So it's not only seek and destroy, but seek in order to ultimately destroy. There's an oxygen charger in this level. Will I even need it? Am I going to go underwater or something for this? If not, it probably provides nothing except kind of a satisfying sense of completion that isn't ultimately relevant. Well, looks like we have the whole circular structure to explore. So let's see what we got here. Okay, yep, there's definitely some more enemies nearby. And they are alert. Let's see how well this works. Well, I already ran out of ammunition for it anyway, but that's alright. I can play this game all day, you stupid sons of bitches. Real rocket surgeons, the IFC are. Okay, this level is also called Closing the Gap. I should have mentioned that earlier. Here we go. Oh. Got ridiculous amounts of ammo around here. Come to think of it, I had more trouble dealing with the 4 troopers early in this scenario. This raid doesn't look like they're going to reappear. What's the point of that? Again, you replace their regular 4 staff ends with some popsicle shit, and then you just neglect to include them for the rest of this scenario. Well, I'm not trying to be harsh. I don't really care that much. It just seems like something that could have been done. Again, it would have been a really cool twist if at one point you basically collaborated with the 4 to take on the IFC. No, that wasn't the best approach. I was just being kind of lazy and sloppy. Two and one, all right. No one else on the map right now. Strange. Looks like a lot of unused space. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'll have to find the right ships for that. Wait, here comes some more enemies. Okay, so coming around the corner. Shit. Okay. Mowed them down. Shit. Okay. No one else is showing up. But there'll still be more going around the horn here. can really sneak in a grenade in the split seconds between its stunned phases. Come to think of it, I wonder if some of the polygons in here kind of trigger more waves of enemies outside. It seemed that way the last area of this sort that I was in. It's a good idea, whether or not it's actually used here. So I'll need to find detonative devices to install here. So, where do I go? So maybe one of the switches I hit was temporary. Let's see what happens there. Okay, so it opens that door. Alright then. Lots of goofy stepping sounds here. So it seems like it would be a button for this. Oh, here we go. What the hell is out here? Some kind of Arctic sanctuary? Oh, oops. Oh, here we go. It's gotten serious now. Miraculously, I didn't get hit in that barrage. Too bad I don't have any, actually, probably use grenades on this thing. It's a little hard to hit it at this distance, though. So I'll just use this. I have infinite quick for this, so I'll blow it away. Slow and tedious, but I can do it. I mean, this is a bit better than sniping. See how close it takes to get for it to. Oh my God. Yeah, there we go. It's getting a little old. There we go. Definitely gonna save after that shit. Thought I heard some other steps, but that might just be one of my comrades somewhere. Oh hey, another one of my basic grunt enemies. Okay, so now to install all this. By the way, my time's out, but I'm going to go ahead and go over time tonight since I'm pretty close to the end. So it looks like I can only pick up one at a time. Therefore, I will have to keep going back and forth. I wonder if they'll at least make it interesting and add some more resistance for me to deal with. Oh yeah, it was my comrade walking around earlier. Anyway, I wonder if I'll deal with more resistance each time I complete at least one part of the objective. Alright, that's one thing set. Something coming on the radar. Is that my friend? Yeah. Just wandering around. back up here. I'd imagine I'm going to get more resistance. Otherwise, why would they give me that triple shield capsule there? They weren't going to give me any more battle. Although maybe it would assume that I would come back up around here while the Juggernaut and or some other grunts are still around. Doesn't look like any new areas have opened up in this map. And squadron levels are rather simple and straightforward, which is not a diss, just an observation. As I said before, in some ways that's a bit of a refresher, since I've dealt with a lot of cool but convoluted scenarios that involve a lot of backtracking and such. A lot of wandering around trying to find out where to go next. Okay, 2 more to go. Again, when things have cleared up, you get a better sense of how eerie and barren this place is. These environments are just these sparse, brutalistic military compounds. Okay, one more thing to get. And we're going to turn this place into a flame-broiled whopper. I personally would have made it so that you could carry more than just one chip at once, but it's not a big deal. Or if you are going to make people take the chips one at a time, give them a new resistance each time they collect or install a chip. It's the sort of thing that gets used a lot in Kill Them All. Okay. Here comes the last one. Something tells me I should save before doing this just to be on the safe side. Actually, wait. There's a save pattern in here too. No, there isn't. It's a terminal. Because I don't want to have collected all those chips and then die by something stupid. Okay, all 4 are installed. No one moving on the map. All 4 explosives are locked in place. Good work. We'll pull you out as quickly as possible. Chorus. Okay, so this is the final level, I think. It's another one of the strange dream levels in this vacuum as well. Oh hey, 5D space effect. Right on. Seems like this would be the epilogue, if anything. National Geographic. The foundation was the IFC's Triple TAC Industrial Research Division, based on the 4 homeworlds, to research and develop new weapon technologies hybridized with those of 4 design. After 6 months of the IFC beating the UESC into the ground, the tables turned in the favor of the UESC forces. The underground industrial complex dubbed the Foundation was demolished, cutting off the IFC war supply chain on the 4 planet. Triple TAC leaders ordered a full-scale evacuation of 4 Prime. Once the IFC's pullout was complete, the UESC left 4 Prime as well in an effort to prevent further Imperial conflicts in the weakened 4 homeworld. Some UESC politicians consider this retreat as a success for the UESC and the 4 Prime, while others see the IFC retreat as the harbinger for a full-scale IFC conflict. Since the fighting group on 4 Prime was only the IFC's Triple TAC Industrial Division, the IFC's true agenda has yet to be uncovered by the UESC's investigations committees. This is not the end. It is not even the beginning. Not even the beginning of the... It's not even the beginning of the end. But it is, perhaps, the end of the beginning. Sir Winston Churchill. Did Shang Tsung have a sequel in mind? Smiley face. His eyes are looking down, it seems. Or at the bottom of the eyes, kind of pulled up, as if to convey a smugness in the smile. It's probably not much worth reading into, but interesting choice of closing chapter screen. Or I should say, closing scenario screen. Alright, that was Marathon Squadron. There are some things about it that make me think that Shang Tsung and or whoever else was involved in this scenario, looks like it was all him, Kyle Dale Aquia, with food and catering going to his mom, Mai Ying Delaquia, transportation to his parents. He needed transportation to do this. Anyway. Yeah, I'm sure it's just part of the joke anyway. But there are things about this scenario that suggest to me that Shang Tsung changed his mind about what to do midway through. There's some things that are kind of abandoned midway, not as much as with Marathon Evil. But overall, I think this is a good demonstration of certain possibilities of the Marathon engine that have seldom been explored. And overall, as I've said before, but want to really sum up here, it's refreshing the level of conciseness about the levels. They can be somewhat linear and short, to the point of sometimes seeming almost like shooting ranges, like what you would find if you were to go to an arcade and play something like Area 51 or prime target in the sense of its linearity, but each level has its own distinct character in terms of the kinds of combat situations that you deal with, um, and so basically you can focus all of your energies and your thoughts on combat and navigating those situations, especially with the novelty, relatively speaking, of more hit scan based enemies in a marathon scenario where it's often hard to avoid getting hit, and that means you have to be aware of where you just came from, need to go back to, when to run for cover, how to maneuver across a situation. It's had me thinking ahead and behind in ways that I hadn't specifically before. I mean, I have before in different marathon situations, but in a whole new way here. And what's more, I think in part with Shang Chang's resourceful use of, environmental, I guess, cues or details, and how he was able to use simple things in a really resourceful way. Each level felt important, like an infiltration. That's definitely helped with the use of textures and sounds being pretty high definition. Even if they are stolen assets, they were reappropriated pretty well for this. So overall, it's good. Since I've gone over time anyway, I'm going to do a little preview of these 3 net maps here: Grunge, Into the Breach, and Drumroll. I've never played Marathon Squadron multiplayer, although I think I briefly looked at it once, and I think at one point Aqua and I, or as he is now more commonly known, Captain JTAG, we may have toyed with the idea of playing this online, but it didn't happen. Could happen though, especially now that I have hosting capabilities and am hosting weekly net game events. Maybe at some point we'll find a way to squeeze this in here. So this has that kind of infiltration feel about it, but it's arena-wise. It's kind of funny how the weapons for the pistols were de-emphasized more over time, to where at the very end I pretty much ran out of them. Actually, I had maybe 1 clip left, or 2 clips, since I had 2 fully loaded handguns ready. That would be good for far range combat. Again, I guess this was good enough for long range combat, especially given how weak the main enemies are, and given how much ammunition you had. Even at long distances, I could feasibly use something like this more widespread, less accurate assault rifle, and then just sniped at them. So this is Into the Breach. Oh hey, it's like an opposite perspective of a previous level. It's as if we're one of the IFC, but this was probably just reappropriated for net game purposes. It's pretty cool. You can still save the game. This could also be fun to play survival matches on. Still, what was with the popsicle stick forestaff? I know I have gone over that several times. It's not a big deal, but it's just rather strange. Especially because they were never brought up again. And again, I had more trouble dealing with the 4 troopers than I did the regular human troops. Aside from the juggernauts, which are mainly ammo sinks. Those white mechanical monsters I dealt with that were a combination of, as one terminal put it, 4 and IFC armor, were the only seriously challenging enemies I dealt with. Okay, let's see what the last one, drum roll. Okay, so this uses more Rubicon assets. Oh, that's right, I did actually briefly played this before. I tested it out on survival. It was cool and funny to see how many enemies were just from a regular marathon, but hadn't ever been featured in here like enforcers. But one really funny thing is that the survival script in this game summons those anti-aircraft tanks that just sit there and just take up space. So that would be for easy points. But it would actually make things harder than you might think because they would just sit there, and so it'd be harder and harder to get around the map the more that they would spawn. It's a pretty good net map in general. I could probably just fire it up in Marathon Infinity sometime. Let all the assets convert where they will, and probably still be good. Alright. Well, that's enough of Marathon Squadron. We'll see what I do next time. I have a few things on my list, on my agenda that I'd like to get to. We'll see. Until then, thanks for watching, and spend some time wondering why Shang gave you full oxygen and full shields right before basically ending the game for you. Alright. Have a good one.